Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas, and we are live and unrehearsed as usual. Thank you all for joining us on this fine, festive Friday evening. It's a lot of F's. Come to the Paranormal Portal. We got a lot of F's in our bucket of fun. I don't even know what the hell that means, but welcome everybody. Glad you're here and hope you had a good week and hope you're gearing towards a good weekend. I mean, that's of course what's next. So what better way to bring it in than to spend it right here on the Paranormal Portal? And I'm not alone. I have, of course, my good friend and co-host, the big toe of the Paranormal Portal himself, Mr. Don Longbeard is here.
Do not.
Yeah, you're live.
Do not. No, I was checking to make sure the mic was. I've been alive for like 51 years, so you know. Yeah.
Oh,
I know that.
sure.
Do not look up that Mentor song.
The Mentor song? I don't know what that means.
It's the 4 Fs.
Oh, okay.
Do not look that song up.
Okay, I have no idea what that is. That's
you'll spend the rest of your life in a broken down suburb of Seattle somewhere, wanting to be run over by a train.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
El Duce forever.
You just start throwing up gang signs too, or what's going on? All right, folks.
Oh boy,
this is the Friday deal. How you doing, brother?
Doing good.
Yeah.
Sorry I wasn't here on Wednesday. Gosh,
Me too.
I was just fighting to get through the day.
That's all right.
Horrible.
Well, it's good to have you back, and of course, good to have you in the seat and helping me to pilot the craft through the Paranormal Portal. It's always a treacherous journey, and so it's good to have you here.
Excellent.
But I tell you what, we better give a little thanks to our sponsor, Cryptid Coin, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo-hoo! Again,
Cryptid Coin is a newer cryptocurrency geared with its heart in cryptid research and investigation, and they, of course, are sponsoring the show. We're really excited about that. And if you are interested in checking that out, please head over to cryptidcoin.io and see what you think. It's now also available on PancakeSwap, which is apparently a crypto trading platform. I don't know much about it really, but I just think it's really exciting. I think it's really cool, and there's a lot of really cool success stories in cryptocurrency. So I don't know, if you're looking to take the plunge, this might be a good one for you. I can't advise you, but I'm certainly excited that they are sponsoring the Paranormal Portal. So special thanks to Cryptid Coin for being behind us here on the Paranormal Portal.
Sure.
So again, cryptidcoin.io to check it out and find out more information. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, should we do some news, Don?
You want to do some news? You want us to do some news?
Before we do the news, though,
let's some freaking news. It's supposed to be 70 freaking degrees this coming week.
Wow.
Yeah, so it goes from winter to summer.
Winter to summer. I'm good with that, though.
Spring to summer.
It's a cold spring here, man. It's been really brutal. So, one of the festivals up here is Lost in the 50s, and it was like I was lost in the rain. Yeah. I wasn't gonna go out in that cold and be lost in the 50s too.
I did.
Did you? I know you're a more of a hometown guy, though.
I had to be there, though. Yeah.
Absolutely. But Donna, speaking of being somewhere, in September 8th through 11th, Don and I are going to be at Phenomicon, ladies and gentlemen.
That's just phenomecomical.
It's going to be phenomenal at Phenomicon. So, phenomecomical. I'm not sure where to go with that, but that is clever. I'll give you that. Give you a shot. But we're going to be at Phenomicon, and it's happening in Vernal, Utah. And if you guys are available and want to make a journey into the Utah Highlands, then head over to Phenomicon and check out this list of people that are going to be a part of it, the speakers. And this is a truckload.
That is a truckload.
A truckload of speakers are going to be there, ladies and gentlemen. All these phenomenal people and very active in their respective fields. And, even Maria Mayer and Ronnie LeBlanc and, of course, Russ Accord is going to be there.
Who's that?
Expedition Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that should be pretty exciting. Actually, Dr. Jeff Meldrum will be there.
That'll be exciting.
April Slaughter will be there. She's a paranormal investigator.
Jim Vera,
the Giants guy. Stacy Brown's a Bigfoot investigator. And Adam Davis is going to be there, as well as Mr. Bob Gimlin. And that was really a bucket list thing for me in Meadowing Falls when we met Bob. That was so cool.
And then we bumped into him again in Kelso. So
at
really
Squatch
cool.
Fest. So that was a lot of fun. But I look forward to meeting a lot of these other people as well. That'll be really cool.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for something to do, here's the schedule below that. It's the daily schedules.
Packed.
It is a full agenda of several days. And if you can, make it over there. Don and I will be there. Maybe Sheldon will be there too.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be a lot of fun if all three of us could make it. But we're going to try to make that happen. But this is Phenomicon. And if you want more information, including buying tickets and learning about areas for lodging and stuff, head over to phenomicon.net and check it out. So I just wanted to drop that out there because we're going to be there. We're going to have a booth. I'm not sure what we're doing at our booth yet, but Don and I will figure that out before.
We may just have a booth to sit down with people and talk with them.
We're gonna have a craft fair. We're gonna do puppets. We're gonna make sock puppets.
Yeah, I'm crafty, but not like that.
We're gonna make sock squatches. I don't even know if that's a thing, but it's a sock squatch. Just imagine that. Yeah, I don't know. In my head, that was hilarious. No, yes, no. This is all this is free of charge. Believe it?
No.
Not Phenomicon, but my humor is what I mean. I don't want to misrepresent the event, but that's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it.
Maggie, don't worry. Someday we'll be in Australia.
We
want to
will.
go meet our friends over there.
That's a big bucket list thing for both of us. Yeah, we've got a lot of great friends. We've been made honorary Aussies.
Yes.
Yep. So especially Don, he got the actual title bestowed to him. I've kind of just gleaned it from him. I think just by close contact, it kind of spreads like a rash, and now I'm an Aussie too.
Like you were trying to blame me earlier about. I think you're rubbing off on me.
Yeah. Well, that has to do with my filter.
No, has nothing to do with me.
The fact that I have less of a filter now than ever before. Thank you, Don.
I think you're just 5 years into a show and you're finally getting a little comfortable.
I am not comfortable, Don. No. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get to some news and find out what's going on in the world of the news. The news. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Portal News Desk, and we are here to bring you the best in paranormal news and just unusual, weird news as well. So buckle up and get ready for all this. Cause,
why is that so wide?
I don't know.
Guys, I'm taking my butt in there.
You've been losing weight?
Apparently not, because you need to have the screen really freaking wide.
I don't know. Do you want me to crop that?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind, because you see this thing here? That's scary as hell.
What is it, the clown?
The clown.
You love clowns, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I love the,
No, don't say it.
You can't
Speaking of filters.
It wouldn't be, you can't grill them.
You can't grill them?
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
There we go.
They'll always taste funny.
Ooh. All right, anyway.
I can't even grill it.
Can't even put that on the grill. Okay. All right. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Portal Mom's probably sitting back there laughing. She loves that kind of jokes. We're going to get right into the news here. Actually, I have a different article that I want to also bring into this. So remind me, I have one more article. But the first one up on the news is from unexplained-mysteries.com. Check it out. It's a great site full of amazingly digestible pieces of great information that we use here a lot on the news. And they do a phenomenal job over there. So check it out. But this is from unexplained-mysteries.com. Study suggests that there are 4 malicious alien civilizations in our galaxy.
Wow.
Where do they get the metrics to sort that out? I don't even understand. That doesn't even make sense. It's like, what the hell does that mean?
Thank you, H.G. Wells.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's read it and find out. A new study has attempted to estimate how many intelligent alien civilizations pose a threat. How many pose a threat?
How many pose a threat? Well, at least 4 within our galaxy.
Yeah, at least 4. I mean, that's just a magic number. They pulled right out of their sphincter there. I don't know where that came from, but we have sent many signals out into the cosmos over the years, including some designed specifically to inform intelligent extraterrestrials that we exist and where to find us.
You sent directions and nudes. Of course we came.
Critics, including the late Stephen Hawking, have argued that doing this could have disastrous consequences if we should happen to gain the attention of a particularly unpleasant alien race. But just how many malicious extraterrestrial civilizations could be out there? In a new study, this is a PhD doing this too. I mean, my God, this is somebody that's obviously got tenure.
Yeah, no doubt.
PhD student Alberto Caballero attempts to answer this question based on an analysis of invasions on Earth, countries invading other countries, data regarding the estimated number of extrasolar planets in the Milky Way, and a certain degree of guesswork. Quite a bit of guesswork, I'm betting. The answer he ultimately came up with was 4. It's like is this deep thought from the Hitchhiker's Guide?
Yeah.
42.
42.
It's the answer to everything. Well, apparently 4 is the answer in this one. He also determined that the chances of us being attacked and wiped out by such a civilization were extremely low. Well, good.
Well, geez, thanks.
Lower even than the chance of being wiped out by an asteroid strike.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, considering that's already happened.
Yeah, no doubt.
I
yeah.
guess the odds are a little
that's
more.
actually happened. Yes, exactly. You're right.
Okay, here it is. The probability of an extraterrestrial invasion by a civilization whose planet we message is therefore around 2 orders of magnitude lower than the potential of a planet-killer asteroid collision, he wrote. Of course, as things stand, we know nothing about any extraterrestrial civilizations that might be out there, and basing their actions on what we know of human society is likely a futile exercise. Well said, well said. We don't know the mind of an extraterrestrial, Caballero told Motherboard. An extraterrestrial civilization may have a brain with a different chemical composition, and they might not have our empathy, or they might have more psychopathological behaviors. I found this way to do the study, which has limitations because we don't know what alien minds would be like.
So wouldn't that be the limitation to do the study anyhow? Because we have no clue what their chemical makeup is, how they think, how hungry they are, do they need adrenochrome, things like that.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
He still told us absolutely nothing.
But he got his name in the news.
That's
so maybe,
right.
Maybe we should do studies, Don.
Yeah. I was studying my belly button lint today.
Oh,
I found out it looks like
we can stop there.
Popular politicians.
Okay, or continue. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Look, there's the Amber Heard.
Remember what I was saying about that the filter?
I walked out in my yard today and my dog's out there. I was like, oh, did you bring Amber Heard over?
Oh. All right. Next article up from unexplained-mysteries.com is, this is kind of weird. Mother left terrified by ghost haunting her home.
Oh, my.
Yeah. This is from May 27th, so it's brand new. A young mother from Scotland believes that something sinister is haunting both her and her children. The woman, who hails from Glasgow in Scotland, is convinced that her home is haunted and that an unwelcome spook has been interacting with her young children. The phenomenon experienced by the family includes toys moving by themselves, taps being turned on, strange banging noises in the night, and even sightings of a sinister shadow. It started happening a few months back with the tap in the kitchen turning on, or the fridge door open and hearing things at night, she said. I heard the creak from the baby gate a few times, but looked at the monitor and the wee one was sleeping. Another time I walked past my living room to get to the kitchen at night and saw a shadow in the corner of my eye going into my bedroom. Ever since the phenomena began, her young daughter is starting having nightmares. On one occasion, she even made the reference to a monster sleeping in the corner of her room. I want to move because of these things happening. My dad's not very happy with it either. He thinks there's too much negative energy in this house, she said. When asked if she was considering eliciting the services of a medium, she said she was open to it. As things stand, however, exactly what might be responsible for these phenomena continues to remain a mystery. Yikes, that's a tough one.
Hey, let's call in that PhD that was doing the study about malicious aliens and see if he can figure something out about this.
Yeah, maybe we can sort out how many shadow people are evil and all that stuff. I don't know. That's got to be terrible, especially when it's dealing with kids. That's the worst part, you know.
Yep.
I don't know. I just watched a TikTok video. It came up on Facebook, and it was this kid talking to the vent, and the kid's like, "Oh, night, mister." And the mom's like, "Who are you talking to?" And then the narration is, for a while now, he's been talking to the vent in the bathroom on the ceiling. And he's like, "Oh, mister up there." And she's like, "Nobody's up there.
Wow.
Nothing's up there." She looks and shows on the cameras, "There's nothing up there." Yeah, he is there. And she kept saying no. And this is like a 2-year-old.
Right.
And I'm like, oh God, no.
Stop, please.
Again, and this is kind of a side note, ladies and gentlemen, but if a kid comes to you telling you about that kind of stuff,
you better listen.
Better listen anyway, but just for the kid. If you can't do it for yourself, listen for the child, because they're looking for help understanding what the hell's going on. And they're confused and worried and so I don't know. I don't know if it's legitimate or not, but this little kid seemed to be definitely having a conversation with the vent.
I am now upset with Renee.
Oh?
Renee says Pennywise an event.
Ooh,
That ain't funny.
Ooh, yeah. Whatever the case is, you got to listen to those kids.
It was a gateway to a whole new world. Whole HOLE, whole new world.
There you go.
Jeez, Rachel.
There you go. All right, let's go to the next piece of news up on our list here. I got to keep an eye on the clock, but I think after this one, I'll read that other one because it was sent in by a listener.
Oh.
And this is another one, unexplained. This is kind of fun. Unexplained-mysteries.com reports Bermuda Triangle cruise offers refunds if the ship disappears.
Hey, let's throw some dice while we're at it.
I don't think that's how it works. But the Norwegian Prima liners offered a tongue-in-cheek refund policy to LA any concerns about the notorious region. The vessel, which offers 2-day Bermuda Triangle-themed cruise from New York to Bermuda for $1,800, has moved to reassure its passengers by promising to refund their money in the unlikely event of their mysterious disappearance during the voyage. Don't worry about disappearing on this Bermuda Triangle tour, the website states. The tour has a 100% return rate and your money will be refunded in the rare chance of you disappearing.
Who's it going to refund to?
I know. The region, which covers an expanse of ocean in the North Atlantic between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, is synonymous with the unexplained disappearances of ships and airplanes, often with no trace of them and their crews ever being found. This particular tour of the infamous region has long proven popular with fans of the mystery, and even features guest speakers such as author Nick Redfern and former MOD UFO investigator Nick Pope. So far, however, the cruise liners managed to avoid losing any of its passengers. Hooray! Good.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be a cool journey. And
that would be, especially if there was one of those kind of speakers there.
Yeah, if I had a spare $1,800 I didn't need, I'd probably go do it.
Hell, with all the stupid money we throw around, I mean, like,
bills and
well, that too. But I mean, like, I'm going to Spokane tomorrow. You know, and
I know,
doing that thing. And,
right.
Yeah. So I mean,
might as well just go on a cruise, dude.
Yeah, I know. Huh?
Yeah, we'll give you a cell phone. You can record the journey and come back, and we'll do a special presentation on the show. Don in the Triangle.
Don's Triangle.
That sounds kind of exciting.
Where does Peter Pan like to eat?
I don't know.
At Wendy's, of course.
Oh no! Oh no! So inappropriate. But anyway, let's get to the other things that I want to do on this show, other than that joke. This is the one I wanted to bring you guys tonight, and this was sent in by, I think it was. I could look. Let me just look. See who sent it to me. I get so many emails, especially lately. I've just been swamped. So I apologize, because I know you guys go the extra mile to do this stuff.
That's right.
And I
love you so much.
I just want to give you due credit. It was by Aggravated Progressive. Yeah. Aggravated Progressive sent in this story. And I thought it was interesting.
Consquatch says a cruise is cheaper than driving. Yes. Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm driving to Spokane tomorrow.
Yeah.
To drive another one home.
There you go. This is from extremetech.com. Reports scientists accidentally turned gene-edited hamsters into aggressive bullies.
Well, my.
All right.
Hey, let's throw them at people who go to elementary schools. The most paused movie moment.
Sometimes experiments don't go as planned because, in case in point, when some scientists set out making hamsters more peaceful via gene editing, they accidentally made the fuzzy little rodents more aggressive instead. Neuroscientists at Georgia State University wanted to see how vasopressin, a mammalian hormone, influenced social behavior. They used a relatively novel technology called CRISPR-Cas9, which allows scientists to edit organisms' genomes. Yeah, that's just never going to end well.
That's just wrong.
To suppress a vasopressin receptor in Syrian hamsters.
Syrian hamsters.
Okay. The expectation was that preventing the hamsters' bodies from utilizing vasopressin would result in calmer, more peaceful behavior. But the result was anything but. Instead of cutting vasopressin out of the hamster system, resulted in high levels of aggression, particularly towards hamsters of the same sex. Although normal male hamsters are notoriously more aggressive than female ones, the startling change occurred in both sexes. Previous studies had suggested that more, not less, vasopressin correlates with higher levels of cooperability. In 2016, researchers at the California Institute of Technology, Pasadena, found that administration of vasopressin in humans resulted in an increased tendency to engage in mutually beneficial cooperation.
Oh.
This aligns with even earlier research which showed that vasopressin may be responsible for regulating social behaviors related to expression and aggression, certain kinds of expression,
intimacy,
wow, that kind.
Stop! Jake just came in. Hi, Jake.
Hey, Jake. This suggests a startling conclusion, said H. Elliot Albers, a neuroscience professor and leader of the study in GSU statement. Even though we know that vasopressin increases social behaviors by acting within a number of brain regions, it is possible that the more global effects of the AVPR1A receptor are inhibitory. We don't understand this system as well as we thought we did. Boy, there's just volumes that could be written right? on just that.
Just the stupidity of even trying it. That's like watching the Serenity, the movie Serenity, based on the what is the name of that show?
Firefly or something?
Firefly, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, it was they blamed it on, you know, they released it into their anyhow.
Okay.
The packs.
I gotcha.
They released the packs.
It says Syrian hamsters are ideal test subjects for a number of research purposes, including those targeting social behavior, cancer, and even COVID-19.
Oh, my goodness.
Their stress response is more like that of humans than other rodents. I think they probably have more emotional depth than a lot of humans do. Probably
true. Yep.
Than at least a good handful. The release of the stress hormone cortisol, just as humans do, and they also get many of the cancers that humans get, said Professor Kim Hooman.
Kim Hooman? Like
Kim Hooman. Huhman. Kim Hooman.
I think that might be man.
Man? Associate Director of the Neuroscience Institute at GSU. Their susceptibility to the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID-19 makes them the rodent species of choice because they're vulnerable to it just like we are. GSU's Neuroscience Institute and similar establishments intend to continue investigating the effects of suppressed or increased vasopressin in animals. As the related body of research grows, so might treatments for depression and other mental illnesses.
Oh, boy.
Well, there is that. I don't know. I think anytime you start monkeying with genomes, you just, I don't know, but it just can't go well.
No.
I mean, here's the thing. Our genome was formed over a long time.
Like, million years.
Yeah, like
a million years.
Like, aeons maybe, and it is the way it is because obviously that's what works best.
Because that's the way it is, dang it.
Let's just start tweaking genes and see what happens. It's like, no, I don't know. I always cringe when I see things like that, ladies and gentlemen, because my God, we don't know what the hell we're doing, but we keep pushing buttons and hoping to find out.
Yeah.
And sometimes we actually find out. And
And
we find out how much we don't know.
Right.
Yeah, it's like,
well, you better wrap that one up.
yeah, exactly. Am I on the right deal here? What is this one? Oh, this is another one.
Time.
It is? Oh, yeah, it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude the news.
Just that quick.
That quick.
Bam.
Bam, the news is done.
We're done.
We are done.
That's it. You're cut off.
We're going to go to the first break, ladies and gentlemen. Break number 1. Don't go away. Just a couple minutes. We'll be right back with more of what you love, the Paranormal Portal. Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I told you we would be, and here we are. I'm a man of my word.
And here we are.
And here we are. Yet here we are. I got nothing else.
Okay.
I was just going for the emotion of
here
the
we
moment.
are.
Just playing to the emotion
and
of the
here
moment.
we are.
Yeah, and here we are. Okay, that's it. I don't know where else to go with it.
I don't know either.
Yeah. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Paranormal Portal,
and we are so sorry.
And we don't offer much except for hopefully a good time and a lot of fun, and hopefully a few laughs as well. Hey, Jake, good to see you. Jake's in the house now too. Speaking of in the house, should we talk about who's in the house, Don?
Who's in the house? Who is in the house?
Jake's over in TFR as well.
Yes,
Jake, you're double dipping.
Yep.
Bam, it doesn't look like he's in here, so it's just you and me, Jake, in TFR.
There you go.
But who's in YouTube's?
I don't know, because nobody apparently is chatting.
Really? Because that thing's moving.
We're here. Stop apologizing. We're here. Once again, Heather, I'm very sorry. I drag you through this thing. All right. Well, we've got Chris. We've got D. We've got Ghost Magnet. Heather's here. Hey, Jake. Doesn't it get tiring listening to two different stations? Justin Gooder is here. Hey, Justin, how you been? Con Squatch. Maggie's here. Rachel gets it right. Richard Ellsmore. Soul Stay. Farm is here. The Unknown is here. Let's see. Somebody just popped in. Jeffrey Dixon just popped in. And that's all I see. So therefore, we're done.
We're done with the shout-outs, ladies and gentlemen.
And Ron the Sage. There you go. That's the last one. There you go.
Oh, Ruthie popped in.
Oh, Ruthie popped in. Well, you got to say her.
Yep.
Hi, Ruthie.
She says, I'm just listening.
Cool.
Well, that's legal, too. You can listen as well as participate to your heart's content.
Correct.
Because both are legal.
Oh, Jake says, I only listen to one and mute the other.
Oh. He's trying to pad our numbers. I like what you're doing there, Jake.
Yeah.
Nice job. Little extra traffic.
Good thinking, buddy. Good thinking.
Well played. Like it. Justin says he's listening and gaming.
Well, there you go.
Good job. What are you playing?
Excellent.
I gotta. No. I wasn't being like weird with that. I mean, honestly, I like video games too. I never have time to play them.
You have to remember they might be weird about it.
Oh, well,
it's not just us; it's them too.
I'm only responsible for my own stuff. I can't be responsible for everybody's. Hey, Dream, good to see you, and great to see all of you. John, do you stop listening to
G.G. Allen? Yeah, well, he's part of that whole mentors thing. Yeah, and
I don't know the name at all. I live in a small, sheltered place.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. Murder Boys or the Murder Junkies, and
Oh, okay. There's all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's fringe punk.
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Oh, cool! Very cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. I've been watching the Witcher series, and I think I'm all done now. Caught up on the episodes.
Me too. I haven't seen any new episodes in quite a while.
I ended up rewatching some the other day when I was doing another project. It's like, gotta watch it. Geralt deal some pain every once in a while.
I can't believe that's what's his name from Superman.
Yeah, right.
I can't believe that's Superman.
It is.
Jeez.
You know what, Don? I found the most strange thing.
How strange is it?
Well, to me, it's really strange. I got one eyelash that's like 3 times longer than all of the other ones. It's like,
is that like?
I can pull it out. It's like, where in the hell did that come from? It's like the every once in a while you get the ones in your ear. It's like, what the hell do I need fur in there for? Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting old, I guess.
I call that
I've got some weird growth.
I call that being German. Hey, we didn't say hi to Portal Mom.
Portal Mom, how you doing, Mom? Love you a bunch.
Yeah, she wasn't in that list, but there you go. And Ruger. Yep, Ruger. Okay, there you go. Woo.
You don't take it. Well, it's not that we don't take it into consideration, Mom. It's just that the list is populated by active chatting. So
yeah, you got to be actively chatting.
Yeah, it's not like you've just got to say something.
It.
If you're not actively adding comments, it drops you off of the participants list. I'm not sure why. But, of course, I figured you were here, and I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here, Mom. My mom's here. Everybody behave.
Yes, exactly. Mom's in the house. She will put you in the corner.
Unless you want to time out. I'm just telling you. All right. She'll make you go to your room and think about it. Unless you're in your room, then just think.
Then she'll make you go do the dishes while you think about it.
There we go. Okay, so we've been working our way through. We worked our way through it. It's done.
Wow.
It is done. So I got a couple of things that I want to go through tonight. That one is. Oh, I just closed it. I meant to keep that open because you and I had talked about doing some stories for the podcast as well,
right,
just having a pool. But
because you have some of those cop ones in the.
Yeah, those are good. Yeah. That was the list that we just finished. But we're going to go to a Money Made article we've been going through, and this is Twisted Supernatural Experiences. Remember, let me post this in the chat too, because I like to keep it in there because I think it's helps you guys to remember. But to call in, dial
720-923
0500. All right, and or email us at Paranormal.
Hey, Mom. Instead of a corner or timeout, can I be sent to go take a nap, please? I would love to nap. I've been bad. I need a nap.
Okay. All right, there it is. There's the posted stuff. Let's see. I got to pin this. All right, now it's pinned. So on the top of the chat screen on YouTube, at least, there's the number. For those of you on TFR, if you're just listening, TFR, iHeart, TuneIn, or TalkStream Live, if you're just listening, but you're like, God, I wish I could call in. What's that number? The number, and here's where you pay attention: 720-923-0500. All right, 720-923-0500. Those are the numbers for fun here on the portal. If you call it, we'll do our best to get to it.
The Funbers?
The Funbers?
The Funbers?
Yeah, I guess so. So we're going to get to this article that we're on number 31. It's a Money Made article, again, Twisted and Supernatural Experiences. These, again, Money Made's not known for being a paranormal publication, but they do these aggregate articles, and they're pretty good. So these are aggregated posts from Reddit where people are talking about twisted supernatural experiences. And we're on number 31.
Woohoo!
The cat was out of the bag.
Oh, my goodness.
Oof. I don't like it when they get out of those bags. I'm a cat lover, obviously, so I'm not trying to sound like a real jerk here. But number 31, the cat was out of the bag. When I was young and living in Salem, Massachusetts, my mom was reading me a bedtime story and trying to get me to fall asleep. Suddenly, I said to her, "He says you shouldn't be sad." Oh, I did read this one last time. My mom asked, "Who said that?" I replied, "The man with the cat on his arm." The reason my mom was sad was that my dad's brother had passed right before I was born. My parents hadn't talked to me about it when I was young, and my uncle had a large, traditional Panther-style tattoo on his arm. I'd never seen or heard of him before and hadn't seen any pictures of his tattoo.
Time out. The reason my mom was sad was that day my dad's brother had passed before I was born.
Was that my dad's brother had passed right before I was born? So I don't know, maybe something in the story was reminding her.
Yeah, reminiscing or something.
Reminiscing. That'll do it every
that
time.
Might have been it, yep.
Don't reminisce when you're getting your kids to bed.
Yep. Or making them take a nap.
Or giving times out. Number 32, a hair-raising experience.
Oh, boy.
One day my mom called me at work saying, "Grandma's fallen in the bathtub. Oops. We're taking her to the hospital. We think she broke her hip."
Go figure.
Oh, that's horrible. She went into seizures in the ambulance, and it turns out she had a pulmonary embolism.
Oh, goodness.
I was in the waiting room with the rest of the family waiting for news when it felt like someone ran their hand across my face and hair from behind. The bangs were physically pushed into my face from the force. Then it got much weirder. Not a minute later, a doctor came in to tell us that she had passed. A couple of days later, nickels and dimes are turning up in random places. Oh. 1 nickel, 1 dime. Then it stopped for a few years. I'd been going through some rough times, and again, I was finding nickels and dimes. I'd wake up with them in my bed, on the seat of my car, and in my jean pockets. Wow. My granddad got rid of all my grandma's belongings. Everything was either donated or thrown out. I was disappointed because I'd been obsessed with one of her rings, and she had promised it to me when I got older. Oh. I was at my boyfriend's house and put my coat on to go home. I put my hand in the pocket to get my lip balm, and I felt something hard. When I pulled it out, it was my grandmother's ring. I went home and asked my mom if she had put it in my pocket, and she said she hadn't seen the ring in years. She contacted my aunt, who had also been finding nickels and dimes, and said that her young son had just found her Nana's opal ring.
Wow.
So that's really cool.
Wow.
That's really cool. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Those are some pretty powerful reports, especially because, I mean, obviously this is a distance. There's quite a distance at work here between everyone involved. So it's not like they're just in the same area.
You know, I wonder if things like that, if like grandma's, you know, ghost, spirit, whatever you want to call it, can straddle that space because of the family tie.
Sure.
You know, the blood tie. I wonder if she could, you know, you'd be on the phone with your cousin or whatever, and it's like, hey, yeah, grandma, hey, yeah, she just dropped this off here too. Yeah, it was like 15 seconds ago. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
you know, so I wonder if that could make a difference in being able to, you know, beat that space and time. I mean, because why not? You know,
well, we've covered on a lot of near-death experiences. When people are actually clinically dead, they've made statements like, I thought of my mom, and boom, I was right there watching her, you know, as she was in their kitchen or whatever. And then I thought of so-and-so, and then boom, I was right there. So I think it's like like an emotional quantum entanglement, right? So they can instantly be with wherever their mind, you know, is thinking, I guess. You know, it seems to suggest that, you know, time and space is a very physical thing. Right. You know, but I think in the energetic realms, it doesn't really matter. Like distance isn't really a thing unless you're absolutely manifest in this vibrational reality. I think that's exactly what it is. So very cool story, though. I think that's really cool because it speaks to that balance being maintained, even, you know, what was right and what was promised, and that if she couldn't make sure it happened in her life, so she was making sure it happened in her passing, and I think that's very powerful. Right. So that was by Luna Aquila.
Aquila.
Yeah. So very cool story, Luna. That's awesome. Number 33 is arachnophobia. Once I was in bed playing Pokemon, a huge spider crawled up from under my bed and just sat in the middle of my room. I tried to catch it under a cup, failed miserably, and it ran, hiding in various places, and it eventually went under my wardrobe. My wardrobe had 3 sides that it stood on, and the front bit on the bottom had come off. This meant the spider could only come in and out of that one section. Being clever, I plugged in the hole with a towel and went back to playing Pokemon. About 20 minutes later, a couple of small spiders crawled out from my bed. With no hesitation, went directly towards the wardrobe. They went underneath the towel to the same place the big spider was trapped. I slept in the lounge that night. That was by Golden Psycho.
Aragon. What was his name? Aragog.
Aragog.
Yeah.
Aragog from Harry Potter. Yeah.
It's Shelob.
That's Lord of the Rings, right? Yeah. So I think that's kind of interesting though, because was it a mating thing that these were the male spiders going for the big female?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so was it, in other words, was it like some kind of pheromone thing that they were following, or was there some other way that they were doing it? I don't know. Paranormal Portal Squad. We just call ourselves weirdos up in here, J-Rock. We're the weirdos. But that was by Golden Psycho. So cool story. There's Pikachu. Right, number 34. What?
You know, did you know that Christina Ricci's doing a new Wednesday Addams show?
Yes, I watched a few of those. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Are they out already?
Yeah, there's a few of them out on YouTube. Yeah.
On YouTube.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. I don't know. I didn't know she was doing a more.
Well, yeah, Netflix. I think she's going to be doing them on Netflix. Yeah, I think it's a Netflix thing.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Well, she's not going to be Wednesday though. She's probably going to be Morticia.
She's Wednesday in the YouTube ones.
Well,
yeah.
Maybe.
So, like an adult version though, is what she is. Like she's a grown up and working in the professional world, and it's pretty awesome.
You know how she got her name?
Who? Christina Ricci
Wednesday Addams.
No idea.
It's the thing about Wednesday's child. I have to remember it. But she's Wednesday's child. Wednesday's child. I don't know why.
Wasn't that like a disabled child was featured?
It's a poem. It's a
poem. Oh, okay. I remember something being featured on the news, and I thought they called it Wednesday's Child.
Yeah, that was like their human interest story kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. Wednesday's Child is full of woe. That's what it is.
Oh.
So she got her name after that particular poem.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, there you go.
That's pretty cool. All right, number 34, Just Say No. When my son was younger, we went to a Boy Scouts meeting to try to get him signed up. He really wanted to join. We paid the fee, filled out the paperwork, and went home. I then fell into a deep and profound funk. I could not figure out what was wrong with me. The whole time I would not let my son to go to Boy Scout meetings, nor could I give a good reason. I just said no. Finally, when asked for the umpteenth time about my son going to Boy Scouts, I said, no, never. He can't join. Forget the money. He just can't be a Boy Scout. The feelings went away right after that, and I was my old self again. I never forgot how I felt during those 3 days. 1 year later, we found out the horrific truth. The leader of what would have been his unit was arrested for harming kids in it.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah. That's not surprising because there was a lot of things that came out of the 70s and 80s about stuff like that.
Oh, sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's just so much creepy stuff, man. We don't know whose story that was. It's got a permalink, so we don't know. Let's see what number 35 is. Something was not hospitable. It says, I headed out with my mom and aunt to go look at colleges. We stayed in the second floor of a brand new hotel. I stayed up late the night we arrived, watching television and reading. I was slowly drifting off to sleep when I heard a light tap on the wall by my head. I rolled over, ignoring it. I heard it again. I switched the lamp on and looked around. There was nothing there. I was by the wall to the outside of the building, and I heard sporadic taps all over that one wall over the course of an hour. I managed to convince myself it was a plumbing or electrical issue of some sort and finally fell asleep. Around 2:30 a.m., an especially loud tap woke me. Then I began to hear rustling. It sounded like clothes lightly brushing against each other as if somebody walks by at a distance. The sound had no determinate source and was coupled with what sounded like feet brushing against the carpet and quiet breathing. I was wide awake at that point. I covered my head with my pillow, wrapped myself tightly in my blanket, and hoped to make to the morning. When I woke up, my mom and aunt asked me how I slept, and I told them, meh. When my mom heard I didn't sleep well, her face went pale as a ghost's. I know, she said. That room was so haunted. When I asked what she meant, she told me she heard all of the same noises I did, including the tapping. My mom also heard a loud crackling noise, like somebody cracking his knuckles over her bed. The next day, I found out what actually had happened. She didn't want to scare me, so she didn't tell me the entire story until after we had left. She heard everything I did, but she woke up at around 4 a.m. She saw someone standing in the corner. She asked, "Is that you? What's wrong, honey?" I didn't answer. I sleepwalked as a child, and she thought that might be the issue. She climbed out of bed and began walking toward me to see what was wrong. She glanced toward the sofa I was sleeping on and saw me sound asleep, wrapped up in blankets, pillow pulled over my head. When she looked back to the corner, the dark figure was gone. Ooh.
And that was in a new hotel?
I guess so.
I wonder, they say, oh, well, it's not, it's clean land. The land's clean,
Yeah.
And, it's brand new hotel, so nobody's died in it. But did anybody die while they were building it?
Yeah, you don't know. Or what is the history of the land?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, land has a long memory, folks.
Well, that's what I mean by clean land.
Yep.
It's not Gettysburg. It's not a battlefield. Sure. That kind of thing. But who knows?
Something might have been brought in that they liked it better and decided to stay, like an attachment to an item, to a person, whatever.
And I wonder if that could be it too. I wonder if there was something in the or like somebody lost their grandma's ring while it was building. They were building it. Like a, and so
sure, like an item.
Yeah, and so that's what's haunting the place.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, I've never thought of that.
Yep,
that's kind of a scary thought.
Yeah.
Lose your ring, end up haunting someone.
Yeah, exactly. Number 36.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's down in the trap in the sink. Somebody dropped it down the sink.
Wow. Yeah.
Wouldn't that suck?
Oh, that would suck. I
can't find anything. It's because it's in the sink trap.
Oh, man. That would suck. Yep. All right. Number 36. I was free falling. When I was a kid, my parents took me to a Christian family camp every August. It was sort of a middle-class resort in the mountains with Bible classes and hymn singing for the adults and more standard activity for the kids like crafts, swimming, and sports. My favorite thing to do there was always to lie in the grass of the sports field at night and watch the Leonids. Is that a meteor shower?
The what?
Leonids?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. When I was 11 or 12, I was headed out to the field at around 11 p.m., It was pitch black, just a faint glow of a distant streetlight to see by. I didn't have a flashlight, but I'd been there many times, so I didn't feel the need to have one. Instead of going around to the main entrance to the field, I decided to take a little shortcut by stepping between some bushes. Suddenly, the ground disappeared from beneath my feet, and I had the sensation of free falling. My legs instinctively made very rapid scissor motion, and my whole body sailed about 6 feet away. I felt a light splash of water across my face as I effortlessly landed on solid ground. I looked back and could see a rectangular pool of water. I poked a tree branch in and found that the water was about 10 feet deep and covered in green moss. I had only a few drops of water on me anywhere. I can't explain how my instinctive muscles twitch propelled my whole body to such a distance without a solid surface to push off of. I briefly considered the possibility that an angel had pulled me out or that I had some kind of extraordinary ability that I hadn't been aware of previously. And nobody to credit that to, but that's kind of cool if it's real. It sounds like a pretty fantastic story, but could be fantastically real, could be fantastically imaginative. I'm not sure.
Well, it may be just something with the perception, because people perceive things differently.
Sure.
So I mean,
yeah.
And that could be some of the phenomena that we talk about all the time too, is just somebody's, because they say that we only see, so much of the light spectrum. We can only hear so much of the
sound.
The sound,
Yep.
So, so it's just somebody's tuned differently and they see different things.
They do.
Yeah.
They do, yep. They have an awareness of more than others, yep.
Exactly.
Certainly there's people that have a higher than normal range of hearing and can hear a lot of sounds from electronics and stuff that other people don't. So stands to reason.
Yeah.
I think so. Number 37, my eternal roommates. I think.
Is that like a 300-year-old pirate?
Now they end up getting married to other ladies. Oh. My grandmother passed when I was in high school. In the weeks following, I would have recurring dreams of visiting her house and seeing her there. I would know she was gone in the dreams, but she would be moving about the house regardless as normal. When my grandfather moved to assisted living, he left the same house to me. The week before I moved in, I had dreams every night of walking through the house and knowing someone was in it with me, but not being able to find them. As soon as I moved in, one of the cats started acting really weird. I noticed he would be doing his regular cat stuff when suddenly something would catch his attention. He would move to a random spot and would start going through all these behaviors as if a person was standing there. One night, not long after I moved in, I was sitting in the living room watching a movie. The house was empty except for me, but I started to have a feeling as if someone was there watching the film with me. This happened multiple times that evening. It got so unnerving that I stopped the movie and called my mom to chat, and it ended up making it even worse. During the conversation, she was in the middle of telling me something when she paused. There was a silence on her end for a couple of moments, and then she asked, "Are you with a friend?" I said, "No, why?" She said, "Oh, my mistake. It sounded like someone was there talking to you." I have no doubt I live with my deceased grandmother.
There you go.
Wow, that's cool. I guess if you're going to have a housemate, your grandmother would be a good one.
Yeah, gosh, can she cook? Because I bet she could cook.
Dust, clean, all that stuff that grandmas do.
Cooking.
The
Grandma,
cooking.
you can stay all clean. You just cook. I'll be okay.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
give me that good old fried chicken.
Amen, brother. But I'll tell you what, we're heading to the hour break now, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
It's gone quickly, but we are going to go to the hour break, and we'll be right back with more of the Paranormal Portal. So don't go away. It'll just be a couple minutes. Use the loo, grab a refreshment, and meet us back here. All right, we'll be right back.
Play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend. Trace their lines upon my body, dripping scars across my heart. Raging anger pours inside me as their lies keep falling apart. Finished with my silence. I am not a stupid boy. No more breaking me with kindness. Just you dance upon my joy. Leading me with empty promise. You're just another fucking mess. Take another slice of my sanity. Just make sure that you're well fed. I'm not wrong yet. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken
They linger in a perpetual dream state, a nightmare from which they cannot wake. I can't see you, Mommy. Where are you? I've never sensed anything like it. those she's with, they're attracted to the one thing about her that is different from themselves. Her life force is very strong. It gives off its own illumination. It is a light that implies life and memory of love and home and earthly pleasures. Something they desperately desire, but can't have anymore. Right now, she's the closest thing to that.
Poltergeists are usually associated with an individual. Hauntings seem to be connected with an area. A house, usually.
Poltergeist disturbances are fairly short duration, perhaps a couple of months. Hauntings can go on for years.
And yes.
And years and years and years. And years and years. And more years. And more years. And so many years you wouldn't be able to tell.
That's pretty cool. Jake,
How many years?
Jake just posted something in the TFR. Hey, Brent, just wanted you to know that your radio show is broadcasted here in Hot Springs, Montana on the Salish Kootenai Reservation where I live on KJFK 101.5. Wow.
I'm sorry, Brent.
What?
What's the name of the town that's right over there that Paisley's kid goes to? Kootenai.
Yeah, Kootenai.
You said Kootenai.
Oh, Kootenai.
My goodness,
Kootenai.
it's right there. It's spelled exactly the same.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a local.
Neither am I.
Well, you're kind of embedded. I'm living my own little
Well, there's the truth.
little reservation here of my own.
We're broadcast on a radio show.
Yeah, Jake or KJFK 101.5
KJFK 101.5
out of Hot Springs, Montana. Very cool. Well, hello to all of you over in Hot Springs, Montana. Thank you for listening to us, and we hope you're enjoying the journey and having a good time. You can also become part of the show by continuing to listen as you are, or you can certainly come on to YouTube where we are broadcasting and simulcasting these shows live, and that is on youtube.com/paranormal portal. And we also have a podcast, and it's just an audio-only podcast that is available on all of the platforms that you can think of. If you go to Spotify, we're there. If you go to iHeartRadio, we're there. If you go to Pandora, Stitcher, Google Play, CastBox, we're there. So just look for Paranormal Portal wherever you are, and definitely check us out. We love getting your attention. So. So thank you, and thank you for letting me know, Jake. I did not know that. You'd think I would, though. You'd think somebody might have mentioned it.
You know,
like, hey guys, guess what? We're simulcasting your show. Oh, well, fantastic. Thank you. That's perfect.
are we being nationally syndicated?
Well,
interstatedly.
Yeah, we're interstate syndication, which is cool. But I'm really thrilled to hear that. That's exciting, and hope you guys are doing great over in Montana. Thank you.
It's JKF
KJFK
Hot Springs. Listen to free internet. It's 101.9.
101.9. Okay.
Oh, it's through TuneIn. That's why.
Oh,
it's
okay.
through TuneIn. So yeah.
Oh, gotcha. So it's through TuneIn. Yeah, which we knew we were broadcasting on TuneIn, but that's fantastic. That's cool. I love hearing stuff like that. I did not know that, but I'm honored to be on there.
There you go.
And again,
that just means the more people are twisted by us every week.
So we're corrupting more minds than we knew. Yeah. Well, if you love the paranormal, you're in the right place.
There you go.
And we are about as paranormal as it comes. Literally, us.
Paranormals.
Yeah, we're paranormal for sure. So we've been going through this article from moneymade.com, and it is supernatural experiences, twisted supernatural experiences. I don't know if they're any more twisted than any others, but I think all supernatural experiences really take you to a different place. They take you generally right out of your comfort zone and put you somewhere else that's not quite as comfortable. But we're on number 38, and this one's called The Night House. What?
Well, Ghost Magnet says, my mom jokingly asked me if Bigfoot was there where I was working, and I said he wasn't, but I didn't tell her about the footsteps I heard. she's not a believer.
Oh.
So yeah, she's talking about her batteries going dead and things when she was doing yard work the other day. Yeah. Eddies in space time. So there you go. Interesting.
That is cool. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. No worries. No worries at all. It's a talk show. We talk here. If you're just looking for nothing but strictly paranormal stuff, we talk about paranormal, but we talk. So
Rachel says fresh Brian's to corrupt. I think brains.
fresh Brian's.
Fresh Brian's.
We're okay with corrupting some Brian's.
The
as
world
well.
according to Brian.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Awesome. All right, let's get to this article, and this is the Night House. When I was 5 and I'd go to sleep, I'd have this one recurring dream. It happened every night while we stayed in that house and lasted until we moved. I would dream that I would wake up in the middle of the night and be in my living room with my dad and mom beside me. I would try to wake them up, but they wouldn't budge. I'd get thirsty, so I would go to the kitchen and grab a drink, but I'd hear a loud bang in our washroom. At this point, it got terrifying. I would go to investigate, and as I would walk down the narrow hallway which led to the washroom, a dark figure would jump out and grab me by the shoulders and would say, "Hello, Aaron. You'll be coming with me tonight." Ooh, that's creepy. He was jet black with white teeth in contrast with red eyes. I could never make out his body. I got so scared as I'd have this dream every night and would wake up sweating profusely. So I told my parents. My dad agreed to sleep with me in the living room on the floor to prove me it was just a nightmare. Well, this backfired in an utterly horrible way. I felt more at ease, but when my dad slept with me, I noticed that he was sweating badly. I would try to wake him up, but no avail. When my dad woke up, he said he had the most frightful dreams with that black thing. I never dreamt about him again after we left that house.
Wow.
And that was by X Switch 24. That's absolutely terrifying. And that is a situation that I can relate to, and it's something I've shared on the show before, but I'll share it as well because it kind of fits the narrative here with this story. And when I was a teenager, I had these horrendous dreams. They were absolutely panic-filled, and where there was the guy kind of looked like a meteor version of the evil preacher in Poltergeist 2.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
And it was horrendous. Yeah.
Bible Belt, yeah.
Yeah, and this guy, I mean, he wasn't running around singing hymns or anything. And this is long before Poltergeist 2 ever came out, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not just a psychological implant or something. But I would have these dreams. He was after me. This guy was always chasing me. And in these dreams, I would be very lucid and aware. And I could even, change the dream. Like, okay, well, I can't outrun him. I can fly. And so I would start flying. And no matter where I flew to, he'd be there. And then I was like, well, and I'm a teenager, so I got Spider-Man powers because I just decided I was going to have them. I was totally in control of myself. I'd climb up these buildings, get to the top, and he'd be there and waiting for me with this really kind of sinister look in his eyes. And he said, no matter where you go, you cannot escape me. And it was over and over I would have these dreams. So suddenly they just ended. I don't know if I outgrew them or whatever, but interestingly enough, and Sheldon can certainly verify this, he was a teenage boy, and he started coming to me. He said, Dad, I'm having these horrible dreams. He said, there's this guy. And I said, wait. And I explained what the guy looks like. He goes, how did you know? I said, well, that's exactly the dreams I used to have. So it was interesting that Sheldon also had the same dreams. Mm-hmm. And it was years later when his younger brother, Oliver, came up to me and said, Dad, I'm having these weird dreams as a teenager when he reached teenage years. And I said, is there an old guy with a black hat on and black coat? He goes, yeah. So 3 of us have all encountered this weird figure in our dreams. And I don't know what it means necessarily. It's absolutely horrifying when you're in it. And it's a relief to wake up and just go, oh, God, thank God, because I wake up just panting because I was so hysterical trying to get away from this thing. And so I'm just wondering if someday, if Elijah's going to come up to me and go, Dad, I'm having these weird dreams.
Oh, that'd be creepy, huh?
Yeah, it really would be. And
because would that be like a generational thing, or or does it,
yeah,
and unfortunately, unless Mom tells you something, we don't know if it comes from her side of the family, but I mean, if it passes down through the men,
it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Hard to say where it came from. I mean, I never heard about it growing up, so it wasn't like I'd come across this anywhere, but it just happened to me, and then it happened to two of my children. So.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely weird. I don't know what it means. I don't understand what the significance of that is. If it's, if it's some, like you said, something in the family line, some weird attachment, or if it's just weird psychology at work and we're all manifesting the same figure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't pretend to know. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. So when these dreams happen, I can relate. Number 39, lights out. I grew up in a house that was built in 1880. Ooh. There was something going on in that house. God, that's an old house, 1880. Yeah. I once walked up to the front door and saw the silhouette of a person walking through the front room into the bay window. I went in and started talking to who I thought was my mom, but no one was there. This happened often. When I was about 16 and at home by myself, I went upstairs to get something out of my room and saw a light on in one of the bedrooms. I shut it off on my way back down. An hour or so later, I came up. It was on again. Irritated, I shut it off. The switch was again in the up position, and at that point, I was annoyed. I knew the house was odd. I slammed the door open, slammed the light switch down, and said into the empty room, "Quit turning the light on." It didn't come back on again.
Wow.
And we don't know who to attribute that to, but I will tell you that that is one of the best things you can do is claim your space.
Yeah, just, make it known. I'm telling you something.
Yep. Like it's both an acknowledgement.
You better listen or I'm sending Mom after you.
She'll give you a timeout.
She'll put you in that corner.
But I think it is important to address these things if something is happening, and just say, hey, knock it off. This is not helping. It's not a good thing. You need to stop. And if it does, good. If it doesn't, then you need to get some help. So it's a good barometer. 90% of the time, usually the activity will just drop off, or at least be much less, in your face. But if it doesn't, then you're dealing with something that doesn't really care what you think. And in that case, you probably need to get it out of there really quick. Just food for thought, I guess. Number 40, it was a wild one. A few years ago, I started to find green number 4 Uno cards everywhere. In the silverware drawer, under folded laundry, in a storage box, in the closet, tucked in my shoes, just everywhere. Knowing the pranks my husband would pull, I just assumed it was him being silly. I'd just take them and throw them away, and I would find at least one every day. I finally broke down and asked my husband about the Uno cards. His reply stunned me. He looked at me confused and said, "I thought you were doing it. I keep finding them everywhere." So we collected them. They were never a different color or a different number. And this went on for nearly a year. Wow. And then it suddenly stopped.
Wow.
We never got the feeling the house was haunted or anything, but to this day, we cannot explain what was with the cards. To make matters even more confusing, it started right when I found out I was pregnant and ended right after I gave birth.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That was by Chez Lalou.
It reminds me of a joke.
What?
I can't tell it on the radio.
Okay, yeah, it's got to be family friendly.
I cannot tell that one.
Okay, gotcha.
There's... Yeah.
Just
it's not innuendo, it's just flat out there. Can't tell it.
Okay, gotcha. But it's a weird Uno card. That is a weird one. I don't know what that symbolizes. I obviously had something to do with the pregnancy, but very strange.
Yeah, green number 3. Maybe
number
it was
4.
Yeah. Oh, was it number 4?
Yep.
Maybe it was you, me, and the baby made 3, but the ghost makes 4. Just the 4 of us.
Ooh, creepy. All right.
Okay.
Number 41. This is a short one. This left everyone wired. Over Christmas, my entire extended family was watching old home movies my brother converted to DVD. There was footage of 3 family members who had passed in the videos. And during that part that had my deceased grandmother in it, a speaker that had the wire clamped on the back of my brother's entertainment stand became unplugged and fell to the floor. Everyone started yelling and running around the house while our grandfather prayed. That was by Big Salad. Yeah, I mean, certainly could be paranormal. It could just be, somebody had tugged it a little bit or, moving it and it came almost unplugged and then dropped out. I mean, there is some things just happen and not everything can be paranormal.
Right. Well, yeah, somebody could have been, dusting the, and moved the TV and, or whatever, and
right.
So, who knows? Maybe the cat jumped back there and
right.
Loosened the wire, because I know I got cats that I'd love to grill for that.
Jeez. Yeah. Well, we don't, of course, condone grilling cats, but to each his own, I guess. I don't know. All right, number 42, coming home. One day, I took a nap while waiting for my fiance to get home. I heard him come in the door and say, "I'm home, sweetie." However, I couldn't find him when I got up. That wasn't even the strangest part. I noticed that both dogs were hiding under the futons, super upset and shaking. I sent him text and called him, but got no answer. Later that night, I found out he was in an accident and drowned in his car at 1:42 p.m. I'd sent him the text asking if he was home at 1:46 p.m., which means I dreamt of him coming home at almost the exact minute he passed. Oh,
wow.
That's so tragic.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so tragic. Wow. That's by J. Cat Leather. Okay. Futons sit real low to the floor, don't they?
They typically, yeah. Especially if it's a Japanese futon, because Japanese futons are actually on the floor.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right. Number 43, the door was always open. When I was about 5, my mom had put a bit of rope around the knob of my room's door and tied it to the wall with the door open. The door was faulty and could get stuck if closed, so she feared I would shut it and get trapped in my room. During a family dinner, the entire family was interrupted by loud Vivaldi music and a soft slam from upstairs. It was Vivaldi's Four Seasons. My dad walked upstairs and came back down immediately with a pale face. The rope had been ripped off, and my door had been shut. As my CD player was playing the Vivaldi from a disc. To this day, I hear that song and start to get uncomfortable. That was by Burnt Valleys. Yeah, that's a pretty in-your-face kind of announcement, right? I'm here. How about some Vivaldi? That'll get the party rolling. Right, Don?
Yes. There's nothing like listening to Vivaldi's Four Seasons.
That'll start any party.
Just getting that.
It's either that or the Black Eyed Peas. I mean,
no doubt.
Let's get it started. Sorry.
Boy.
All right, number 44, Boulder-rama.
Boulder-rama.
When I was 20, I was camping with a friend in a little valley in the hills behind Santa Barbara. It was a nice evening in March, and technically we weren't supposed to be there because the campground wasn't open until May. But there we were. We had dinner and had a nice campfire going, and all was quiet. Then out of nowhere, we heard a commotion on top of the ridge. Squatch. Just saying, squatch. It was like someone running around through the dried leaves and brush. We didn't think anything of it at first, but then the noise stopped. It was starting to get a little creepy, but we hadn't seen anything yet. Then this thing started running down the ridge. Not straight down, but in long zigzags towards our spot in the little valley. Then it stopped again for about another half hour. Suddenly, we heard something coming straight towards us, fast, and out of the dark came a giant boulder, rolling into our camp. It went straight into the fire, sending burning wood and hot coals everywhere. We got out of there as fast as possible and never looked back. I'm telling you, that's a squatch right there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep, that's not just, hey, this place is a little spooky. That's something wanted you gone.
Well, I mean, if they're Indiana Jonesing a boulder towards you,
you just run ahead of it.
Yeah,
should be able to outrun it, as far as I understand.
Well,
he did. I'm just saying. I think that's very much the Sasquatch activity for sure. That's the whole intimidation. And with Sasquatch activity, a lot of times if you listen to enough claims, it's really almost psychological warfare. They start out real subtle, and then they ramp it up more and more and more and more.
Right.
And if you still stay there, you're kind of asking for it.
Kind of pushing the buttons.
Yeah, because they know that they want to push you out of there. And if you're not getting out of there, then they know that they will turn it up to the next level or 5 or 10. And you end up with boulders rolling into your camp. Yeah. That's kind of the last part where if you don't listen, then
they will get even bolder.
They will. Thank you very much. Don's here all night. That's so funny. All right, so what was that one? I thought it was 20 something, but
wow, no.
It was actually called Boulder-rama. That's awesome. Well, let's see. We got about 5 minutes. I guess
5 minutes. Wow.
Read a couple more of these because that's about all we got time for. And then after the break, we'll get into some phantoms and monsters.
Phantoms and monsters, Mr. Non-Strickler.
Non-Strickler sites. Number 45. Same time next year. When I was 12, my grandfather passed on February 5th, 2016 at 4:14 a.m. On that very day, I woke up at 4:14 a.m. I remember looking at the time on my phone and thinking, what am I doing up this early? Then I found out later he had passed then. The following year on February 5th, I woke up again for no reason at 4:14 a.m. It's been a thing that's happened ever since. Every February 5th, I wake up at 4:14 a.m. That was by Sam in Peas.
Sam in Peas.
Yeah. Sam_in_Peas. Oh, that's weird. That's kind of wild. I wonder if if it's actually a repeated spiritual event for that person, or is it just something?
Right.
Because I mean, how many times have you thought, what time is it? It must be about 2:30. You look at the clock. It's exactly 2:30.
Right.
Like, it seems we do have an internal clock.
Yep.
That just kind of knows about what time you need to be up or do whatever.
I have that problem a lot. I wake up and I go, I gotta pee. Okay. I also know what time it is too. I know it's exactly 2:35. I look at my clock. I look at my phone. It's like 2:36. That's because I fell asleep in the 30 seconds since then. So but yeah, it's crazy. Right. I can pretty much tell time no matter what time it is.
Sure.
At least that's the way it seems to me. So
yeah, I think it's sometimes surprising how well we're dialed into the time. I can't tell you how many times I've set an alarm like I got to get up at this time.
Right.
And then I'll go to sleep. Yeah, and literally.
Yep. It
just happened this afternoon. I lay down for a little nap because I was up really early. My little cat decides that every morning I need to wake up at about 4. Because it's getting light out earlier.
Because you got to go find them all.
It's like outside now. It's outside time now. And he comes and pushes his face into me and meows. And he's a real sweetheart about it. But it's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Don't do this. So I crashed for about an hour. I had to get up for a phone call this afternoon. And sure enough, I woke up literally a minute before my alarm was set to go off.
Yep.
So it happens. It does happen.
Yep.
How long is this one? All right. Well, it's about 2 minutes until the last break.
Have you ever wondered why you may wake up at those certain times? I mean, do you think it's because somebody's dreaming of you? I wish. But anyhow, but it's like, do you have a normal time that you wake up that you just know what time it is?
I don't know. I mean, I will go through periods where I do. Ron the Sage has a cool idea. He says internal clock is common, and some people think that it's based on your heartbeat. Ah, that's very interesting. So, like, our brain is actually counting these beats and relating it possibly to a time frame. That's a pretty cool idea.
Like a modified sine wave.
Right. Yeah, I guess so. If it has the same frequency. But
right.
I'll tell you what, when you have bad dreams and stuff, you wake up and your heart's just racing.
That is so interesting now that I said that, because most digital clocks nowadays, they don't run on just like a pure sine wave. A pure sine wave goes like this, right?
Yep.
But a modified sine wave is a square tooth, right?
Okay.
So think of a heartbeat. A heartbeat's not a wave. it's peaks and valleys, hard peaks and valleys, right?
Yep.
But so our clocks, our power in general is a modified sine wave. So what if the clocks, our heartbeats, are connected to our clocks in the electromagnetic sense, and that's sometimes maybe that's why we wake up at certain times, because maybe I don't know, it's just exploding in my head. Never mind. But anyhow,
could be.
Wow.
It could very well be. I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting thought. Again, I don't pretend to know much about pretty much anything, but I know it's break time. And we're gonna go to our last break, and we'll be right back in just a couple minutes and do some Phantoms and Monsters cryptid reports, ladies and gentlemen. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are back for the last stretch of the show. Jake says, does it get boring after a while going so long on your show? Not yet. How long have you been doing this, Don? How many years? 5, 6?
We started YouTube August of 17.
Just on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, YouTube. But I joined you in April of 17, and you started the TFR show in April of 16.
That's right.
Why am I the freaking historian?
I don't know, because I can't remember dates to save my life. But, yeah, I don't know. I guess I love doing this stuff, right. Jake, so... Yeah. It's always interesting to me, and I still have so many questions in my head about it. Basically, the Paranormal Portal is my own quest to try to understand what the hell is going on with this stuff, and I know that there's something really significant going on, and it's not just weirdness when things go sideways. I think there's something really profound happening, and I just want to understand it. So every episode, every time I talk to people that have experiences, I learned something.
Yeah,
new.
You get little pieces, like you said. The paranormal is the breadcrumbs,
right? And so I'm following it, and no, if it was a subject that I wasn't really passionate about, this has been way too long. Right. But it's something I'm so excited about every time. Whenever I hear a new report, a new claim, a new experience, it's like wow. So it just makes me think. But thanks for the question. I mean, that's a fair question. After a while of doing anything, sometimes it gets old, but this is, you know what they say, Jake, if you find something you love doing, you'll never work a day in your life.
Well, gosh, I sure could give up my 40-hour. That would be nice.
You don't love doing it, right?
I don't.
So, yeah.
But, I mean, sometimes, I get caught every now and then. And because, like I said, if Portal Mom made me go lay down and take a nap, I would. I don't get bored. I'm just usually so tired sometimes that I just can't, it's like the other day. That's why I wasn't here Wednesday. I just fought to keep my eyes open the entire day. Mm-hmm. And so it's not boring. It's just difficult for me to do these, 15, 16 hour days. Yeah. So no, it's not boring, but sometimes it's difficult for me. So. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Jake says, I love paranormal stuff. He says he might start his own show. Well, good for you. Yeah. Good for you. I think anybody that's willing to give it a shot should. And I think that a lot of people come to shows and they think it's just hanging out and running your mouth. And some people do their shows that way.
Don't get on Twitch.
No.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, not Twitch, yeah. But I will tell you that it is a lot of work, too. There's a lot that goes into every one of these shows. Sometimes it's set up. Sometimes it's equipment. Sometimes it's always research. It's always finding stuff to discuss. And so... nothing about this is really easy, but again, it's something I'm passionate about, so that makes it fun, and it makes looking and doing the work kind of fun. Sometimes it drives me nuts when things don't work that should work, and trying to troubleshoot things because of some weird update that happened that you didn't know about.
Please reference 2017 for that.
Yeah. If you watch our back catalog, you'll see just about every technical problem on the face of the earth happening for the portal, and there's a lot. Some of them make sense. Sometimes they don't. It's like it's almost something paranormal going on itself. And so, I don't know. But it is a lot of work.
So Android says, hey, would you give up your 40-hour current job for a 49-hour of this same pay? You have to remember that we do this show. I do this show, hopefully most of the time, 2 times a week with Brent. He does it 3. And then on top of that, we also have the podcast as well, which is only once a week. And I can put in about 5 hours on a podcast. So it's really simple for me to get towards close to 20 hours for a week doing the paranormal part, doing the show in some form. Mm-hmm. So if I had 49 hours a week of paranormal and getting paid what I get paid, give it to me. Give it to me. Because, 2 or 3 shows a week plus the podcast, that's easy. That's just easy.
Nothing's easy, but it's something we enjoy doing. I mean, all of the stuff.
Oh, it's an
took a
easy
lot of
choice. Let me say, it's an easy choice. Yes, it's an easy choice.
Yeah. No, that's a great question. So thanks, guys, for asking those. I mean, it's just, it's the truth of the matter. There's so much that goes into this, and I don't mean to, pat ourselves on the back, but I think we do a pretty good show, and we put a lot of thought into each show, and we do our best to bring it to you in a way that's entertaining and fun, because there's a lot of shows out there that are making the paranormal so spooky and brooding, and that's fine. It's so theatrics. Dark. I don't think it needs to be that way, which is why we do the show this way.
Right.
It doesn't have to be all moody and dark and I don't know, just uncomfortable.
Right.
I like to have fun with this because I think this stuff is fun. Even with some of the terrifying things I've experienced in my life, I still am fascinated. So
well, and even the horror stories that we've read, there are some pretty bad stories that we've read. But then again, you get that the one show that we read about the boy who was, his dad went crazy and killed his mom, and the kid ran out the door and was hiding behind like a dumpster or something, and the dad found him, and all of a sudden there was it was described, I guess, like a guardian angel.
Yep. And
the dad was shooting at the kid, and the guardian angel stopped the bullets, and it's incredible. So there's the scary ones, and then there's the really cool ones. Of where the heck did this come from? How did that happen?
Yeah.
And it's such a. And then we talk about the grandmas, and the grandpas, and the people who visit us afterwards. It's just, it makes it worth it. So.
It does. We love doing it. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, and hopefully you'll spread the word about the show. It's obviously it's a passion for us, and as the show grows, it gets even more exciting because, and not that we need a big audience or anything, but it certainly is nice because, all that we do put into the shows, it's nice to know that there are several people out there enjoying it, and so keep spreading the word. Let other people know. But
Android, I thought that, I meant 40 and 40. If I could do this for 40 hours a week, I would definitely.
Mm-hmm. Jake says, did you know that somebody once wrote a book about aliens and said that they like Tibetan throat singing and strawberry ice cream?
Huh.
Yeah, I guess anything's possible.
I could imagine throat singing, or it's also called frog singing, but but strawberry ice cream, I don't know.
What do you mean? That's awesome. I can totally get into that. I might be part alien, though.
Oh, boy.
I don't know about the whole throat singing thing. I think it's fascinating. But, definitely strawberry ice cream is on the upper echelon of my ice cream list.
The only reason they put it in the Neapolitan was because they just needed color. Otherwise, it's disgusting.
I can't take him anywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
Give me chocolate vanilla and let me top it the way I want. I am A-okay with that.
Brussels sprouts and ice cream.
Okay.
Oh.
No.
All right.
Smoked Brussels sprouts would be.
Yeah, and a special thanks to the Unknown. He's created several video elements for the show.
Yeah.
So thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And he's always working on new ones. So I have a couple of his newer ones. I haven't integrated them yet in the show, but that's my failing, not his. He's been a wonderful friend to us, and thank you so much for that. And Taco actually sent us this sign back here. Yep. Taco Violator is one of our longtime listeners, and he made this sign. It's actually like 1/8-inch steel, and it's plasma cut.
Oh, that's what he's referring to, the Richard Doughty book. Supposedly they had one of the
Roswell crash.
Right. Yep. One of the still alive aliens from the Roswell crash. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his name. I want to say Skinny Bob, but I don't think it was Skinny Bob. I think it was named differently. Anyhow, Jake, smoked Brussels sprouts with butter is like divine.
Divine, he says.
Anyhow.
Yeah, but anyway, so we've also experienced a lot of kindness from you guys, and that's been awesome. It's been really cool. So thank you for everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking the streams. Thank you for spreading the word. Thank you for letting other people know about it. And thanks for coming back. That's the big thing.
Jordan.
What?
Jordan says, Brussels sprouts are great. They punctuate the still night air.
A little gassy, I guess. Huh?
There's a little, yeah, there's a little bit of fiber in there.
There
yeah,
is.
You know,
Absolutely.
That, whatever.
All right, so we're going to close out the show going through a couple Phantoms and Monsters stories, ladies and gentlemen. And Phantoms and Monsters is a site run by our friend Mr. Lon Strickler, and it's a fascinating site. There's so many reports.
Oh, J-Rod, right. J-Rod.
They have investigations going on there and all kinds of great stuff. And they also have a podcast of their own called Phantoms and Monsters Radio. Right. Head over to phantomsandmonsters.com and learn about all that they're doing over there. But it's a fantastic repository for some pretty incredible claims. This one is from Friday, May 20th, 2022. And you won't believe this, but it's chirping tall winged insectoid reported by Amazon delivery driver in Bensonville, Illinois. Yikes. I think of all of the things that I wouldn't want to see, one would be a man-sized insect.
Right.
I just think that would be so terrifying. Can fly. I mean, these things may be really brilliant and smart and so far ahead of us in so many ways, but it's just the fact that they're a big insect. And
right.
And when I think of insects, I think of, these very utilitarian creations that go around and they do what they're supposed to do. Like spiders catch things in their webs. There's no remorse. There's no thinking about it. They just catch stuff in their webs. They bite it and then suck the juices out. I think of praying mantises and how they're just these almost insect serial killers. They're just monsters. Right. I know that they all serve a purpose, and I'm being tongue in cheek mostly, but I think that seeing a large insect to me would be like, which version is this? The smart one or the one that'll eat anything?
Right.
I don't know.
Kind of like dust mites. And those ones that live on your face and your eyelashes.
Okay, yeah. So moving along. This is
skin cells.
This is from Phantoms and Monsters again. Fourth sighting of a winged humanoid in Bensonville, Illinois. As with other reports, this was a tall, chirping winged humanoid, but reminded the witness of a flying insectoid. And the date of the sighting was May 13th, 2022. Absolutely recent. And it was approximately 1900 hours. What is that? 5 o'clock?
Yeah, no, it's 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock?
7
okay.
o'clock. It's 12 yeah. 19 minus 12, 7.
Okay. Location of the sighting was Bensonville, Illinois. Number of witnesses, 1. The status of the investigation is under investigation. Here's the details. I work for Amazon as a delivery driver, and I was doing my delivery route at about 7 p.m. on May 13th in Bensonville, Illinois, on Center Street, just south of West Green Street. I just finished dropping off a couple of boxes at a residence and was walking back to my van when I heard a chirping sound followed by a series of clicks that came in quick succession. I thought at first that it sounded like a woodpecker, and that's what I dismissed it as until I heard the same sequence again, and it sounded like it was coming from behind me. I turned to look and heard the sound again. I looked toward the sound and could not believe my eyes. On top of the house next door was a tall, thin, winged person who was looking directly at me. It looked like a giant flying insect, but it must have been at least 6 to 7 feet tall. Mm-hmm. I initially jumped as I watched it took off straight into the air and just flat out disappeared out of sight. I looked around hoping it had flown out into the trees, but never saw it again. I walked back to my van and kept looking up, hoping to see it again, but did not, and the rest of my route was uneventful. And the investigator notes, an investigator has reached out to the witness and is waiting a response. Once further information has been obtained, it will be posted on the website. This case has also been forwarded to the Phantoms and Monsters. Yeah. So I don't know what other website they're dealing with here, but that's pretty crazy.
So remember I told you about this guy I met a while ago. His name was Ted Lohman?
Lohman?
Yeah, Lohman.
Yeah.
And I told you about back in like 1994, 95,
mm-hmm.
He said that he had... And this totally went right over my head. I can't even believe I missed it. Mm. But he mentioned something about 94, 95, 96. Someone came to his house and they brought a mantis being with them.
Oh,
and
my
they
God.
talked back and forth through what he would describe as a higher tech type of laptop. But then again, we didn't really have laptops back then. We had We had like the Macs that were like suitcase size, small suitcase size.
Sure.
You know, but it wasn't a laptop. So yeah, it's crazy stuff. But a winged, and no, that'd be scary, brother. That'd be scary.
I would just, I would love to have asked him, what did it say? What was it saying?
I know, and I was so dumb that I just totally missed it. It was like something that went by the wayside because we were talking about all kinds of things that day.
Right.
We were talking about the Arizona Lights, not the Phoenix Lights, because he was there when that happened. He had his show. I can't remember the name of the show on public access in Arizona. Mm-hmm. But he had some stuff that I can't believe I was never ever able to get back to talk to him. Yeah. And it just really sucks. So
yeah, that was all. It's all lost to time now.
It
but
is, yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Dang.
But what an incredible experience. At least that he had that experience.
Right. Yeah.
And he was a very credible guy. I mean, it's not like he was just some flaky
that's true. Yeah.
person with a million claims. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Jordan Cogburn says, I'm convinced if you always keep an eye out for creepy paranormal stuff, you will never encounter it.
Well, that's why I keep looking.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, it's one of those things, though, I guess, Jordan, you got to keep in mind is, what if suddenly you do?
Right.
Be careful what you're looking for because someday you might find it.
Right, yeah.
I have to say, in every one of the experiences that I had, I was never looking for anything, and even when I saw the UFO, I wasn't looking for a UFO. I was looking at the stars,
right?
Because there's red stars. I wanted to see what that looked like under night vision, and it was incredible. That was breathtaking all by itself. But then to just to pan around and just looking around this valley and to see a saucer above the trees was just like, whoa, And I had wanted to see one. I'd been looking at the night sky for all of my life trying to see something like that and never did. So there is truth to it, but someday that what you're looking for might actually show up. And just be careful what you wish for.
So we have this magazine here in Sandpoint. Uh-huh. It's called Sandpoint Magazine. And I saw it sitting on my table the other day. Somebody brought it over. And the bottom left of it, I'm actually looking at this is the new one. It says UFOs in North Idaho, and I can't read the other ones, but I also read remember I read that one about Bigfoot. It was off this particular website as well. So okay. It's a history mystery. So I meant to bring that. That's the problem.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to read it, but.
We'll bring it next Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that'll be cool. But yeah, I mean, sometime you might find what you're looking for. So just be prepared for that. We're going to move on to the next one by Phantoms and Monsters here with the last 7 minutes. Bat-winged humanoid attempts to enter bedroom window in Gary, Indiana.
Is that next to Erie, Indiana?
No, Gary's up right next to Chicago.
Oh.
It almost, when you're driving through, it's like you never really leave Chicago. You just, suddenly you're in Gary. Yeah.
So Chicago, Illinois to Gary, Indiana.
It's just, like they bump right into each other.
I didn't know that,
Yeah, I used to drive through to Michigan all the time.
Gotcha.
This is from 2018, Gary, Indiana. Me and my girlfriend had an experience with a flying humanoid bat-like cryptid in 2018. Apparently, there were over 100 sightings of this same thing in Chicago and then in Gary, Indiana, close to where we live. We were just seeing this large thing on the roof of the house, and then I would see it land in the tree outside my bedroom window. After several months of seeing this large flying thing at a distance, we saw it up close when it tried to get in my bedroom window. Oh, my God. It was a very traumatic experience for both of us. I wouldn't blame someone for not believing this story either. It's hard to believe, but this actually happened. So, in January 2019, they received a few reports regarding winged humanoids Mothman. It says, "Hi, my husband and I live in Gary, Indiana. Came home freaking out tonight, Saturday, January 19th, saying he saw something that had to have been 4 to 5 feet tall with large wings that were similar to bat wings. He said it was grayish color. And it flew in front of his truck, just inches of it getting hit. He said it flew up into the trees and then disappeared. This was on Chase Street I don't know if it's the same thing people have been reporting in the area, but it can't be the Mothman, can it? I'm not sure, but whatever it is, it scared him to death.
Right.
Wow. And then on the 22nd, 2019, they received a text from a resident in Gary, Indiana. I called the witness to discuss the observations, and he states that his family had been on their front porch one evening in late September 2018, and this is on the 300 block of East 43rd Avenue in Gary. Across the street was a small lot with several tall trees. It was a clear night, and the moon backlit the grove of trees. The caller's brother or father noticed a large winged being flying near the top of one of the trees and made the rest of the family aware of the being. The children were taken back to the house. The caller and his brother and father continued to observe the winged humanoid, which was described as having a body of 4 to 5 feet in length. Wingspan was approximately 10 to 12 feet. Wow. But could have been larger. The entire body and wings were dark in color. He stated the body reminded him of a large monkey in shape.
Oh,
the
great.
Wings, the bat squatch. The big
Flying monkeys.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Dorothy.
Dorothy.
Were bat-like and reflected in the moonlight. All the witness heard was a whooshing sound when the being flapped its huge wings. The winged being flew into the trees and disappeared. The brother contacted him when he saw my post of the recent winged humanoid sighting in Gary, Indiana. They had not told anyone else outside of the family at that point. RH texted me. The Phantoms and Monsters 14 research team will continue to investigate this sighting and all other related sightings around the Lake Michigan area, as well as all winged humanoid accounts reported to us through the world. Yeah, that was from Lon.
Right.
His end note there, but that's very interesting. I don't know what to make of these folks. That's a strange phenomenon, but there's a bunch of this claims coming out of the Chicago area.
Well, yeah, and now that you mentioned that, I didn't know that Gary, Indiana was so close to Chicago. Now it makes sense to me. It's like, I thought they were like, well, quite frankly, worlds away, because like I am so like
Worldly.
Northwest.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, I've never, I've been down to Vegas. I think I've been to Arizona once, California a couple times. Don't want to go back. Do not recommend. Washington, Oregon, Montana. I've been to Iowa, so I've been through South Dakota.
I've been everywhere. Yeah, man, I've been everywhere.
I haven't. I've never even. I didn't know Chicago was that close to Indiana. I really didn't. So
I ain't been everywhere. No, I ain't been anywhere.
Nope.
Well, it's interesting because I don't know what it is going on over there, but I know Lon and the Waylands of Singular 40 and have been working really hard on the phenomena up there. There's a lot of reports coming in. There's quite a variance, though. There's these smaller diminutive ones, 4 to 5 feet, sometimes less. But then there's these 6, 7, 8 feet tall ones that are reported as well. And I don't know if they're one and the same thing or if they're just all kind of in a group together or what's going on. But, man, they're coming out of the woodwork over there.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you wonder what the hell's happening in our world.
Yeah, well, that's why it's the breadcrumbs.
Right.
Jokery says you'll love Chicago, Don. No.
Yeah,
no,
I've been to Chicago many times.
Get out of there.
Went over to Navy Pier and hung out and saw the Rembrandt exhibit at the Chicago Museum of Art. That was really beautiful. Really cool to be so close to Rembrandt's paintings.
Well, somebody say that there have been reported sightings of Sasquatch in Chicago, in the suburbs area, though, going through like dumpsters and stuff.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, that would make sense. I think that one thing is happening is that the Sasquatch are. I really believe there's probably more of them now than maybe ever, but at least certainly more than in modern times before now. And I think that as they have to expand, just because they probably require a pretty aggressive range to meet their caloric needs, I mean, this is the low-hanging fruit. We are a wasteful people.
Yes, we are.
And we throw away a lot of things that many beings or things would eat happily. So I think they just come in and start surfing dumpsters and probably live pretty well rather than chewing on, pine needles in the deep forest. They could just hit a dumpster and be done for the night. But that's all speculative, of course, but we've had reports in Detroit. We've seen, about some of the abandoned houses. People saw something that looked like a Sasquatch up in one of those houses.
Squatting now. Great.
Yeah, they're squatters, man. And that's a little low-hanging fruit. I don't see why they wouldn't. I think they make use of those structures when they're out in the forests. I think that there's many potential claims of them finding like nests built into these old abandoned houses up in the mountains sometimes.
Kind of like the Fluke episode of The X-Files. Guess what time it is?
It is time to call it a night. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on the Paranormal Portal. Just remember, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. Good night.